What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Voiceovers Podcast. I'm 24K Logan.
Kanan, going on?
Now, of course, recently, PowerBook 3 Raising Kanan just had episode 5 drop, and in the most literal terms possible, I'm not that happy with that ending, and you already know why.
Alright, so spoiler.
Yeah,
might as well be spoiler.
No, it's going to be a spoiler.
Okay,
it's going to be a spoiler. Unique is possibly dead, and I'm not feeling it. I want your thoughts and opinions on that first.
I'm not an idiot when I come down to these things, so I think it's all for shock value, really, but they wouldn't kill off this character this fast. At least one thing I noticed with major characters in the shows, because he's a very major character.
Exactly.
If they were to kill him off, it would have been either towards the end of the season or the end of the show. And mind you, it's like episode 5, and I can only think about, since he's such a main character, his pay's higher, so whatever his contract is, I know it wouldn't have just settled for 5 episodes, probably 10 episodes, whatever. So that's one reason why I think he's alive. And it doesn't show, he didn't bury his body, no, he just dumped him, you know. He was just knocked unconscious, so technically you wouldn't be breathing and you get hit upside the head, but there's miracles that people survive, so.
And so I have a couple of, well, I guess it's like theories that I've heard, and then like my own beliefs with it, right? So, number one, if they were to bring back Unique, it wouldn't be weird or out of the ordinary for Power, because if you go back to season 1 of Power, it was season 1 when Scrappy, remember when he had got beat down and he got left off at Rock's doorstep and he was pretty much laid out unconscious, just like Unique.
Yeah.
And he came back.
Until
yeah. Rest in peace, Scrap. I'm still mad about that. But you see how badly he was beaten, and Unique was basically the same way. The only difference with Unique, he suffered blunt force trauma to the head, but I don't think he hit him in the head no more than 2 times. Some people in the comic section were saying that Unique got hit in the ribs more than he did in the head.
I noticed that.
Yeah, so for that reason, I think it's a possibility that he's alive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking about Scrap, and then I'm even thinking about Lauren. And well, I'm not gonna spoil that for you because you haven't seen PowerBook 2 Ghost.
I'm barely into it. I didn't even start that. I watched like a few episodes with you, but I need to finish 1 and 4. So I'm not gonna get into that. So one thing that I will notice, he had some head damage.
Yeah.
So that could be an effect on him later in the show, or it can just be a little temporary thing, memory loss. Who knows what it is? But
there's also this crazy theory that Unique is gonna come back as Breeze, bro. Like, why are y'all doing this whole Breeze thing? The hype around him has low key, I don't want to say ruined the character for me, but all these Ronnie is Breeze, Unique is Breeze, Marvin is Breeze, Lou-Lou is Breeze. Like, they even said Symphony was Breeze at one point. I'm like, come on, y'all. He is the most legendary character we have never seen. Like, y'all stop pushing this Breeze thing. But I do think that towards the end of the season, potentially, that Unique could come back. Like, I think if they were to bring him back, somebody found him on the side of the road, most likely cops. He is in the hospital with a coma. And then maybe he gets a plan or makes a plan for him, Pernessa, and his son Jerome to leave Southside for a minute, and then he comes back and gets revenge on Ronnie, and that could happen. He is my favorite character in this show. Some people have also said that Joey Badass wants to continue his music career or get back on track with his music career. And that kind of would, interfere with Power. So I could respect it. But I would love to see Unique story continue because I feel that there is still something left there for Unique.
Yeah.
How do you feel about episode 5 overall?
I've been liking the show. So I've just gotten back on it because this guy here, he was like, Xavier, watch this show. You gotta watch this show. I'm like,
I had to beg him.
I'm sorry, man. I watched so much stuff, and then I was trying to get caught up on this. Yeah, it was a lot, man. But yeah, I really enjoyed the show though. It's my favorite Power show, I think.
Well, I mean, this season.
This season definitely. Every season's been killing. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was really good, and this season's been good as well. So they solid.
What's been the biggest shock for you so far? Because I know some people were very shocked when Howard had killed Detective Burke at the end of episode 1.
I want to say that was one of the biggest shocks. It was like, dang, already. But Because, like, for 2 seasons, she was just in everybody's business, man. I was like, oh, so now y'all actually get her. I was like, okay. And it was Omar Epps that did
She was pressing hard.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was only a matter of time, I guess. I just didn't think it was going to be that soon.
Yeah.
Just like with Unique, I didn't think that this was going to happen that soon. But there's still a possibility there for Unique. We didn't see no clip or a glimpse of a funeral scene or anything like that. It's going to be very interesting to see how they go about this, but he's a great character. I would hate for them to kill him off. I keep talking about Unique.
Yeah, but everybody's talking about it.
Because
okay.
I mean, he has become a fan favorite very quickly. Do you have any predictions for the remainder of the season? Some people have believed that there's a possibility of Marvin or even Lou-Lou dying at the end of this season. I don't really see that, but yeah, it is a possibility. Unfortunately, it seemed like season 3 of Power is always the dark turning point of the show, and it's already been a very dark season, like darker than the previous seasons. So I don't want them to kill Marvin or Lou-Lou.
Yeah.
Not this early anyway.
So I feel like, because remember at the end of this season, season episode 5 episode. So basically, remember when Rock was in the precinct or whatever with the police or whatever.
Yes.
She got picked up, and Lou didn't want her there, but she didn't even show up. So I guess we're gonna see what continues with the club that Lou's at, whatever Marvin's doing, Jukebox's music group. We'll see how that goes. And Kanan, you know how he's like got that little 6-month thing or whatever with the gun charge thing.
Yes.
So we'll see how Rock actually tries to get Kanan back over to the house. Famous, man. This man Famous is hilarious. My favorite interactions.
He's the comic relief.
Thank you. My favorite interaction has been like between him and Rock. How she just presses this man and he doesn't want anything to do because he's scared of Kanan and he's scared of her. It's just so funny. I don't know why. I just like it.
That's been a death prediction too. Famous. I don't think it would make sense to kill Famous this early though. I mean,
I feel like he might get killed, but maybe not this early.
I would hope not. Like, him and Marvin are definitely the comic reliefs in this show.
Yeah.
But I would say, if I had to make any predictions, I do think that there will be a major death at the end of this season. I can't exactly say who, because there is the possibility of a get back for Ronnie. There is the possibility of Marvin or Lou. Even Howard to a degree, but
that homicide detective or whatever her name is, I don't know, but yeah.
You talking about
Burke's girlfriend?
Shannon's girlfriend. Yes, there's a possibility. Well, I don't really think they would want to kill her.
Maybe not her, but she pokes her nose in the wrong direction, and she gets got, and somebody picks up on that.
It would be crazy if Howard had took her out as well.
Yeah, possibility that she takes him out.
And that is when, he's already gone to the dark side, but he's like officially there now. Yeah. If he was to do that.
And he's keeping, I didn't catch up, but he's keeping an eye on like the feds, see how like close they get into Rock's case. And mind you, when the dude who was in a wheelchair, he was talking to that other police officer, and he said Rock, and then
slipped out by accident.
He actually caught on to that. He was like, oh, so she has a street name and all this. And now they're
going to circle back to Rock.
So all of that, and they was already looking at Rock anyways with the windows and all that. So,
and this is going to be the turning point where Rock gets back in the game.
Probably, yeah.
I see that happening
because she had seemed like she really wanted to get out and just run to the fronts or whatever,
and it's just pulling her back in.
Right.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in
because of what's going on with Unique. I think that's a potential reason to pull her back in, and then the feds coming down on her. Ronnie is pressing Kanan. You work for Unique, like, come on, bro.
Right.
And then talking about heroin, like there was no heroin being distributed.
Right.
But there's a possibility of that as well.
Yeah.
So you have all these reasons for Rock to get pulled back into the game.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a possibility of heartbreaking death coming towards the end of the season, even more so than the possibility of Unique dying.
Yeah, the last thing I didn't want to touch upon was that so remember how after every episode there's that little trailer for the season episode 6?
The preview.
Yeah. So
we gotta wait 2 weeks for that, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, so it's confirmed. Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
So one thing I noticed that Unique's girlfriend, she already don't like Rock because what's going
Vanessa,
on.
yeah.
And remember when she went to her house, she had the gun.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on in that scene, it showed Rock had that gun. So we'll see how that interaction goes and what we find out about Unique and everything.
Yeah. Now, the last thing that I wanted to touch upon was, if we look at the OG Power series, right? We see Kanan, we see Jukebox. We see how ruthless that they were and how cutthroat they were. I know they're still children, but we have yet to see that turning point for them. And that's why I feel like the end of this season is going to be the turning point, or it's at least going to set the blueprint and the foundation for the turning point for us to start seeing that ruthless Kanan and Jukebox. And that interaction with them in episode 4, where they were at the restaurant saying that they loved each other and whatnot, is going to be very heartbreaking to see like what it is that, you know, separates them or causes that friction between them. And then of course we all know what happens to Jukebox in season 3, I believe it was, of OG Power.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see. But all in all, we appreciate everybody for watching this video. As we both said, PowerBook 3 is our favorite Power series, hands down. We are looking very forward to the remainder of this season and seeing what happens, because we know that there's going to be some very shocking moments. But thanks again for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. More content is on the way. 2024 is going to be a big year for us. We got a lot of things. Yes, Happy New Year. We got a lot of ideas and a lot of things that we got to put out there for y'all. And we appreciate all the love and support. Until next time, peace and love to everybody.